Okay, guys, we are going to go ahead and start looking at noun positions this week in language arts. Before we look at our noun positions, we need to just do a real quick review of verbs because it's very helpful and important for us to know our verbs before we can find some of these noun positions. So, quick verb review. Let's not forget that we have action verbs. And those are going to include verbs like walk, dash, talk, listen, watch. All those things that you can do or someone can do. Then we have our state of being verbs. Oftentimes they're linking verbs, but they could be a helping verb as well. But there are 5 that I always tell you that I want you to memorize because you see them over and over again. And those are is, am, are, was, and were. If you memorize these 5, if you see them in a sentence, you always know that it's a verb that you're looking at. And sometimes we get confused on those. So, the third kind of verb that we want to talk about before we start looking at our nouns are linking verbs. Linking, link the subject to more information. In the predicate. Predicate is the part of the sentence that has, or clause, that has your verb. So, I am happy. I, and happy is the adjective that's linked by am. So, just remember, oftentimes we say that a linking verb can be replaced by an equal sign. So, the student is a football player. I could remove that is, put an equal sign, and say student equals football player. So just a little quick review. 3 verbs we want to make sure we look at. Action verb, state of being, and linking. This state of being can be a linking verb. It can also be a helping verb that you may see. So, few things to remember. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first noun position. Noun position on the board up here. We're going to talk about this week and next week that we have 5 noun positions. The first noun position that we're going to take a look at this week is subject position. We reviewed our verbs because in order for you to find the subject easily, you need to know where you're, find your verb, and then you'll use it for information to find the subject. So, when I want to find my subject, which tells me who or what the sentence is about, I use the formula that I have down here. First of all, I find the verb in a sentence. Then once I have that verb, I ask who or what plus the verb. So we're going to take a few examples here and look at them. Again, my formula, guys, find my verb and then ask who or what plus the verb. Okay, so I have the sentence here. After class, the students went to eat lunch in the cafeteria. So, went is my verb, so I'm going to put a V. That's my action in the sentence, went. So using my formula, which is find my verb and then ask who or what plus the verb, I would ask myself, who went? And my answer is students. So my subject for this sentence is students. The students went. Okay, now I've put up here a complex sentence that has 2 clauses. Remember, complex sentence, it's created with an independent and a dependent clause. Although I am still hungry, I will not eat any cookies. So I have two subjects and two verbs in here. So for my first clause, although I am still hungry, my dependent clause, I'm going to look and I go, okay, my verb is am, are, was, were. Here's my verb, am. And this sounds very awkward, but I'm going to say who, am, and I'm going to find that it's I am. That's my subject for my dependent clause. Then I come to my next clause, the independent. It can stand all by itself. I will not eat any cookies. My verb, helping verb is will, and the main verb, and I'm going to mark it with MV, is eat. Don't forget that not is not a verb, not is an adverb. So, who will eat? I. Subject again is I. And sometimes our complex sentences can be a little tricky, but we'll practice. During homeroom, Jonathan drew a picture. So my action in the sentence is drew. Who drew? Jonathan. And this is what my subject is. So let's just review one more time. In order to find the subject of a sentence or a clause, you have to find your verb first. Once you've found the verb, you ask who or what plus the verb. Went is the verb. Who or what went? Students went. Students is my subject. That's my answer to the question. So that is my subject. Although I am still hungry, who is? I am. I is my subject. I will not eat any cookies. Who will eat? I. I is my subject. It's the answer to my question. During homeroom, Jonathan drew a picture. Drew is my verb. Who drew? Jonathan. The answer is Jonathan, so that is my subject. We will work on these in class. You'll have assignments that will be posted to Edmodo, and you can always go on my Kia web page to get extra practice.